So Bill Maher gets owned by Joe Rogan. And we here for it. But first, intro. Yo, what is good, fam bam? It is your boy JJV saying welcome to another video. And real quick, y'all, before we get into this, I just want to say, of course, shout out to all the new additions to the JJV fam bam. Last time I checked, y'all, we are up. As a matter of fact, here, why don't we check together? We are up to 6.52k subs. So yes, again, thank you to all the new additions to the JJV fam bam. I do appreciate that very, very much. Also, shout out to everybody who's been watching my reaction to Donald Trump's first night out. Really means the world. I have a feeling that reaction is gonna go viral, man, because last time I checked, it was up to like, I think 3.4k last time I checked, with over 300 plus likes and everything. So yeah, again, thank you everybody for showing the channel some love. Thank you for to everybody who's been watching all the videos and showing the videos some love. Really, really means the world to me, man. Can't thank you guys enough, and I will forever be grateful for that. So yeah, all right, y'all, let's go ahead and get into the subject matter at hand. We have Bill Maher on Joe Rogan's podcast, and him and Joe Rogan are basically discussing the Trump indictments in the 2024 election, as it says in the video title here. Yeah, I'm a big time Joe Rogan fan. I do love the Joe Rogan podcast. I've been watching it, ever since he used to post his full interviews, or not interviews, but his full podcast episodes on YouTube. But then when he decided to air his full episodes on Spotify, he kind of lost me. But I do catch all the clips, though, that he still posts on his channel and whatnot. So yeah. But anyway, let's go ahead and get into Joe Rogan and Bill Maher's discussion over Trump, the indictments, and 24 elections. Without further ado, like to hit.
The Joe Rogan Experience. The Joe Rogan Experience.
And so he just goes along with all the woke nonsense because he doesn't want to fight that wing of his party. He can't afford to have a battle on the...
Now, right off the riff, I gotta say, man, Bill Maher's one of those dudes that to me comes off very pompous, very arrogant. You know what I mean? Someone who is absolutely full of themselves and feels themselves a little too much, if you know what I mean. So yeah, Bill Maher, dude kind of rubs me the wrong way, man. Never really been a huge fan of his, but anyway.
Left.
Yeah.
So that's my big issue with him. I know you have others.
Well, my biggest issue is he lies a lot, and he's probably...
Well, certainly not more than Trump.
Okay, so in case you guys didn't notice, it should be obvious now since Bill Maher brought up Trump's name in this context. They're talking about Joe Biden and how he's doing as president of the United States, which is not very well.
Oh, please. Come on, man.
Well, listen, I think they both lie. I mean, I don't like that more than this guy. Because I want to just, if you want to talk about Trump, we could talk about Trump. But if you just talk about Biden, I don't think comparing him to Trump does anybody any good. These just look...
Facts, I would have to agree.
At the
Burisma situation. Does because they're running against each other.
Yeah, okay.
So it's kind of necessary.
It could if you want to talk about in terms of an election, but you talk about in terms of the guy who's in office right now, like, why don't I like him? Well, one of the things that I don't like has nothing to do with any of his choices, is that he's mentally compromised. I think there's some...
Facts. I mean, it should be obvious that the man is not all there upstairs. I mean, the guy can't even... The guy has 2 left feet, as we all know, tripping all over himself. I mean, when trying to board a plane,
you blew it.
Heck, when trying to ride a bike,
you blew it.
Jeez. Or heck, even if he's just, walking away from a podium,
you blew it.
And he, be tripping all over himself and whatever. Some people say sandbags and whatnot. Come on, we know dude be tripping, all right? He just be tripping all over himself.
You blew it.
And he can't complete his sentences. He makes up words and whatnot. I mean, Joe Biden's a whole mess. I don't care what anyone says.
Something wrong, and I think it's clear.
As if the other guy isn't.
Well, okay, he speaks much clearer. He might be crazy. He might be a sociopath.
Is crazy. He's crazy and stupid.
Say all those things, but...
Okay, see, this is where I can't really buy Bill Maher as an intellectual, because then he just utilized One of those crazy left tactics right there. Called Trump crazy, called him stupid. Come on, Bill.
You blew it.
You're better than that.
You blew it.
You're much smarter than that.
You blew it.
It's kind of beneath you, I think, at least in my opinion, to have to stoop to, name calling people. Come on now. Come on.
It still doesn't take away from the fact that there's something wrong with Biden. Like, he makes up words, he stumbles through things. It seems like he doesn't.
Facts, and more facts. Let's go, Ro.
With Biden. Like, he makes up words, he stumbles through things. It seems like he doesn't know where he is half the time. He's very, very old. That's my...
Facts. Biden... Who's seen that one time when Biden gave a speech, and after the speech, he's like, okay, where am I going? Which way do I go?
Problem with him.
Okay. Well, again, we're living in a world where perfect is not on the menu. These are the choices we're going to have. This is going to be who's running next time. You're going to have a doddering old man.
Do you definitely think that Biden's going to make it to the 2024 elections? Because I'm not convinced.
Well, who knows? Yeah, he might not.
Yeah, I doubt Biden will make it to the next election.
And so might not Trump.
Right. Both of them could die at any minute now.
Yeah, absolutely.
When you're like 70, whatever years old, 78 years old.
One is 77, one is 80.
Yeah, that's the end of the line.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you're on E.
I mean,
right? You might make it to town, but you might die on the side of the road. You're
There's
on
also blue zones where people live to 100.
They don't look like those guys.
No.
And to a degree, I see where Joe Rogan's coming from, and I can agree with him. But between Trump and Biden, I feel like Trump is in much better shape. I think Trump looks like he's in much healthier shape compared to Biden. Just my opinion.
No, they look better.
Yeah, they're thin and active.
Well, Biden's thin.
That's true.
Trump is not.
But he's thin, like skeletal thin.
Yeah, Biden is more frail, to say the least. But yet, I don't know how he does it, but every time he falls, he seems to recover just fine.
Yeah.
Like he's thin, like frail. Like where he looks like he's just going to fall down a lot.
I'll give you this point. Trump looks a lot and sounds a lot more hearty and robust and healthy. That's true. He's a city roach.
Okay, well, at least Bill Maher can be somewhat genuine.
Robust and healthy. That's true. He's a city roach. He eat the worst things he eats, the stronger he gets. You cannot kill him. No, I agree.
He's also the only guy that didn't noticeably age the moment he got into the White House.
No, we did. We aged when he was...
And by we, Bill, I'm pretty sure you mean all of you who are on the left side of things, right? Oh, yeah. I bet all y'all aged like milk when after Trump was running things, which were much better times, much happier times.
In office, he was fine. You're right. He didn't look like he aged. He always looks the same. But he's a criminal, and he's crazy. And
on what evidence do you have? Those are lies.
He's stupid, and crazy and stupid are two different things.
And you're being a petulant child with the name calling right there.
You say crazy. What do you base?
Okay, let me give you an example. Stupid is like Frederick Douglass is alive, or the stealth bomber is literally invisible.
Right.
Or nobody knew health care was hard to solve. That's just stupid. He's very stupid. Crazy is like, it's important that the crowd...
Look at that. He's having trouble making up the BS rhetoric off the top of his head. I think Bill's losing it too in his dome piece.
My inauguration was the biggest ever. And I'm going to make an issue of this for the first 2 weeks of my presidency, despite photographic evidence to the contrary.
I'm pretty sure there's photographic evidence, video footage, that between Donald Trump's rallies and Joe Biden's rallies, Biden was speaking in a ghost town while Trump had huge overflowing crowds. I mean, let's not kid ourselves.
Or I'm going to steal these documents that I don't even know what they are, and I don't care, and I'm going to put them next to the toilet at Mar-a-Lago, and then I'm going to fight you to take them back, or not conceding the election. Those things are crazy. Or thinking I can somehow charm Kim Jong-un in Korea, although that might be stupid. Sometimes it crosses the line between both. But he's both stupid and crazy, and he's a criminal. You know, he's not being
Again, based on what evidence? What receipts do you have to prove that he's a criminal?
charged in these trials because he's a liar. They purposely didn't do that. Apparently it's okay, it's not illegal to lie to the American people. And of course he did lie.
And Bill Maher is clearly lying to the American people.
And continues to lie. He still hasn't conceded the election, which he plainly lost. He's charged with actual crimes. Criminal intent to obscure, I forget what the actual name of the law.
It's questioning the results of the 2020 election, which is the same thing Stacey Abrams and Hillary Clinton did back in 2016 when Trump won the 2016 election. So how come nobody's going after Hillary and indicting Hillary, and why isn't that nobody is also trying to indict Stacey Abrams? Make that make sense.
Law is, but criminal intent to basically steal the election or to coerce people in the states from I forget what it is.
Yeah, you forgot what the little idea that you're gonna try to make up in order to prove your point, because that's all you guys do is lie. You like to lie. You call Trump a criminal. You call him dishonest and all these other things, but yet here you are trying to make up BS rhetoric, and you just don't have enough cognitive power to do it. I think you're slipping, Bill. It's time to retire.
And then there's one forgery, which has to do with the electors scheme, criminal intent for.
What is the forgery?
That's the slate of electors he was putting forward, the fake slate of electors. What? And then there was the one.
Here it is. We can read it. 3 counts of solicitation of violation of oath by a public officer. So he's trying to get someone to violate their oath. 2 counts of conspiracy to commit forgery in the first degree. 2 counts of conspiracy to commit false statements and writing. 2 counts of false statements and writings. Violation of a Georgia RICO Act. Conspiracy to commit impersonating a public officer. Wonder what that is. Conspiracy to commit filing false documents and filing false documents. Then this is all based on the election results.
Well, there's also felony solicitation of violation of oath. Felony solicitation of violation of oath by a public officer. That was what when he was talking to Ratzenberger. That's the I need you to find me 11,000 votes. There's also one. I mean, there's two cases about trying to steal the election. One, the national case that Jack Smith is prosecuting, and then there's the one in Georgia.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure there were some mail-in ballots from actual voters, you know what I mean, that went missing, you know what I mean, that were mysteriously lost. You know, so, I mean, if anyone should be charged with some, some election tamperings and whatnot, election interference, I think we all know which political party should be investigated as far as that is concerned. I'm just saying.
Now, they cross paths in a lot. But basically, I mean, yes, he tried every possible way to steal this election. He tried to do it through the courts. He tried to do it through state legislatures. He tried to do it through intimidating Mike Pence. He tried to do it through the Justice Department. They talked about seizing voting machines. They talked about using the army. I mean, you can't really believe that this guy is not worse than Joe Biden. I mean, I agree. Biden is not a great president. And the Hunter Biden stuff is a stinky a stinky scandal that stinks to the high heavens. If you think that in any way compares to what Trump tried to do, you just cannot tell unlike things apart.
See, you can tell by Bill Maher's tone of voice that I don't even think he believes in his own BS. You know what I'm saying? And then he's got like this desperate tone in his voice as well. You know what I mean? Like he's trying to tell, almost like he's trying to tell Joe, I need you to be on my side. I need you to agree with me. I need you to believe me that Trump is the enemy here. You know, yeah, Biden, yeah, you know, to some level, I can agree. Yes, Biden is not the ideal presidential candidate either. But but Trump is worse. Trump is this. Trump is that. He's a criminal. You know what I mean? He did this, that, and the other. Side with me, Joe. Side with me. Damn, Bill. I never thought it would be possible to get someone to get Bill Maher to speak in such a desperate tone of voice, but Joe Rogan managed to do that by saying so little, bruh.
You're saying this just based on what happened after the election, just that stuff.
Yes. Well,
Yeah.
that's the criminal part. Yes.
Have you ever tried to steel man his position? Like, do you think he really believes they stole the election, or do you think he's bullshitting?
Who gives a fuck? It doesn't
Who
matter.
gives a fuck?
Who gives a fuck if he really believes it?
But I mean, if he really believes there's evidence that the election was rigged.
No, I don't care. No, first of all, that was part of the January 6th committee's findings. He has multiple people, all the people around him told him that he lost that election, including Bill Barr, you know, and he admitted, one of his quotes was that they have on record of him saying, I don't want people to know I lost this election.
That's kind of crazy.
He's crazy.
That's kind of crazy.
I mean, it's insane that you can't let go of the idea that you can't be seen as a loser. There's a certain...
Just like it's insane that you can't let go of the idea that you are wrong about him being a criminal, dude. It's insane that you can't let go of the fact that you don't have all the facts. You don't have any receipts. Yeah, we saw some, charges, but we all know those are some phony, trumped up charges. No pun intended. Yeah, the Democratic Party, this goes to show how smart they are. All these tactics, all these things that they're doing against Trump, it's only making the man more popular amongst us, the American people. You're only galvanizing this man. You know what I'm saying? I mean, Trump is virtually bulletproof at this point. And it's all thanks to the Democratic Party. They are handing this man the election.
I always said this in the beginning, it all comes back to he is a clinical case of malignant narcissism.
And like none of you other public figures are not. I mean, come on now.
It's not just a quirk. It's actually in the big book of crazy, that.
Right.
I mean, it's a real thing. And it affects everything he thinks and does. It's why foreign leaders were able to curry favor with him. All they had to do was kiss his ass and they got whatever they wanted. Do I really think that he wants to help Russia and Putin? I think Putin had him as soon as he said, Trump is a brilliant man. Good, you got me. It doesn't take that much. He's a dangerous guy.
Okay, so he and Putin are automatically best friends because Putin gave him a compliment? There's this thing called, respect bill. Perhaps you've heard of it. You know what I mean? It is possible for enemies to have respect for each other. Doesn't mean they have to like each other, but they can respect each other. Two totally different animals, which even someone of your caliber should be cognizant of. I'm just saying.
The idea that he could be president again, as opposed to Joe Biden, again, Joe Biden, not my first choice, not my 100th choice.
Right. I believe you, Bill. I do. You don't have to convince me. All right?
But the other guy is a crazy, stupid criminal.
You blew it. Capiche?
All right, y'all. So that was Joe Rogan and Bill Maher talking about the Trump indictments and the 2024 election. I don't know. Let me know where you guys stand with Bill Maher and this whole discussion between him and Joe Rogan. Like I said, Bill Maher has always comes across to me as someone who is arrogant, someone who is pompous. You know what I mean? And just absolutely stubborn, obviously. And now it seems like he's desperate in trying to get people to look at things his way from the tone of his voice, and I think it failed miserably. I noticed that Joe Rogan, my man here, has been going through a bit of a change himself, man. He's starting to. We all know Joe Rogan used to go in on Trump, used to talk a lot of shit on Trump, but now it seems like he's come around ever since he met Trump at one of the UFC events. and actually got to meet the man. He got to shake his hand and everything. It seems like Rogan is starting to come around and starting to realize what the truth really is in regards to Trump and in regards to the Democratic Party. You know what I'm saying? And also, it seems like my man's taking a much more spiritual awakening as well. I notice he's becoming more welcoming to like the Christian faith. You know what I mean? He's had Hulk Hogan on his podcast, and they were talking about, you know, God and Christ and everything. You know what I mean? And there was someone else whose name I can't remember, but they were also Oliver Anthony, the one who sung Rich Men North of Richmond. He was on there talking with Joe too about the Christian faith. You know what I mean, with God and Christ and everything. And Joe appears to be much more welcoming than he has. You know what I mean? Many years ago. So hey, kudos to my man for being more open-minded and more accepting, if you will. But anyways, y'all, pretty much all I gotta say about Joe Rogan and the things that he's been doing lately, you know what I mean, in regards to his show and whatnot. So yeah, man, shout out to Joe Rogan. If his channel is still active, it is the Powerful JRE. You guys know how I do. I will link the original video in the description down below. So if you're not following Joe Rogan's YouTube channel, highly encourage y'all to go do so. And if you want to, go check him out on Spotify, where you can hear his full episodes. By all means, go ahead and go check it out, man. Joe Rogan Experience. I just love hearing this man having some awesome discussions with his guests and everything. So yeah, I'd encourage y'all to go check out Joe Rogan. And pretty much all I gotta say about that. And yeah, you guys know the deal. If you're feeling the vibes here, don't forget to, of course, like, comment, share, and of course subscribe. Again, thank you to everybody who's been subscribing. Thank you to everybody that's been watching the content, you know what I mean, and showing love. Really appreciate y'all. I will forever be grateful for that. And yeah, till the next one, y'all have a blessed one. Peace.
Jason JV on YouTube.
What's up with you, Jason JV?
What up, Jason JV?
Just sending love, peace, and blessings to you.
Jason, you are my homeboy, my guy. Don't call me guy, pal. Don't call me buddy, pal.
Much love to you, JV. Chris Calico. Cali, baby. Oh.
What's up, Jimmy? My name is Jimmy Matthews. One half of the next dude on the street. Who say what's up to you? Keep your motherfucking head up. I don't know why you sad. If you sad, you sad. If you happy, don't be too happy. Don't be expecting shit. It's like you curves all the time. So you ready to be on the swerve. So subscribe, tap the little bell, turn on the notifications, and if you're not down with that, we got 3 words for you. Eat it, yeah!